Hi there, Ed Valley here. Happy President's Day. Looking at South America here. We'll keep this video pretty quick as we are kind of coming out of the most important time of the year as weather in Argentina will slowly dwindle in importance, and we're going to focus our attention on the safrina crop here. However, still some later planted beans that are benefiting from any moisture we can manage here across Argentina. Speaking of the last 2 weeks, back to the 5th of February. Not a lot of rain in Cordoba or Buenos Aires or La Pampa or Entre Rios or Corrientes. It's been a drier period here. There has been some rain, but it hasn't been ideal. Now, up in Brazil, the same can be said for Rio Grande do Sul, for Paraná, and most of Mato Grosso do Sul. However, as we've been hinting at in every report we put out, there's just this fire hose of moisture coming into Goiás and a lot of Mato Grosso over the last 2 weeks. So moisture here has been quite good. So this is relative to normal. You notice pretty much everywhere in central Brazil, 80 to 150% of normal rain. But down south, we're talking anywhere from about 0 to, in some cases, maybe 50 or 60% of rain. So south is still very dry. And you can see over the last couple weeks, or excuse me, this is a couple days. This is back 7 days. There has been some moisture in parts of central Argentina, not a lot east. And then up in Brazil, pretty similar. You know, you see that fire hose like we just talked about going from Rio de Janeiro right into Goiás and into Mato Grosso. But you really see where the lighter rains have been. It's most of Paraná, southern Paraguay or southeastern Paraguay, and northeastern Argentina, including Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. So our friends in northern Mato Grosso do Sul, you've been seeing some moisture. But again, even here, it's less than ideal, right? So we need that moisture to plant safrina. And what do we have moving forward? Well, eventually we will get that moisture. It's just going to take some time. So through this week, you're going to notice most of the activity is found in western Argentina and central Brazil again. And it's not until really Wednesday night to Thursday we get a couple clusters going through Argentina, and those will move into southern Brazil to end the week. And then as we get into the weekend, just clusters of storms found everywhere. Central, northern Argentina, and those will move into parts of central and southern Brazil as we head into the midweek next week. So you look at totals over the next 10 days, it looks like this. Argentina, about as good as you're going to get, especially in this La Nina regime. You could argue it's the same for Rio Grande do Sul and Paraná. And then you get up into Mato Grosso do Sul, still not quite enough, or as much as I would like to see here. And then Mato Grosso continues to see decent moisture. But notice, when you compare all of this to normal, you can really see where the deficits lie. Down to the south, great. But again, you can't have it wet everywhere in South America. It doesn't work like that. It's way too big of an area. So where it was wet, it turns dry. And where it was dry, it turns wet. The MJO is a big catalyst of this regime, okay? So now as we press forward, you're going to notice we're still eyeing the MJO to help us provide commentary as to what's coming. And here's the latest look. We're heading into phase 4 coming up. That's what's causing all of this. Phase 5 is a little bit less friendly, but still not bad. And then phase 6 really isn't too bad either. So there's going to be a lot of variability, I think, coming up here. And the big story is going to be how does it trend in the 8 to 14 day? And that's really a story for safrina. Because you look here, and the moisture is still focused in northern Argentina and parts of southern Brazil. And if you remember, in our 16 to 30 day issued Friday, we were concerned that southern Brazil could see decent moisture. Now, according to the latest modeling, instead of it being here, it's actually more like here. It's a little further south. So just something to keep in mind. And, obviously this is just one model. Here's the GFS's interpretation. Looks like this. Kind of the same deal, where you have, let me actually pull up the 7-day totals. There we go. Where you have this moisture in southern Brazil and parts of eastern Argentina in time. And then again, you look at the European, and it's more northeast Argentina into southern Brazil. This would be a pretty favorable look in parts of southern Brazil. Just looking at the 5 to 10 day period here. Let me press back into it. There we go. You can see it's really the areas that have been very, very dry. Eastern Argentina and southern Brazil. So I don't think anybody would be upset if this were to verify. Obviously, it's later than preferred, but you notice pretty much all of the data has that idea. Southern Brazil, wetter. Central Brazil, drier. And then northern and western Argentina, drier as well. So that's the outlook moving into the beginning of March. And then you look at our 16 to 30. We're hanging on to some drier risk in Argentina, but that wetter risk in southern Brazil sticks around, and the drier risk in parts of central Brazil also sticks around, which obviously is less than ideal. So we will continue to monitor this. Have a great week. Enjoy your holiday, and we will be back tomorrow with plenty of information in our report and audio.